In a glass-walled boardroom 50 floors above Manhattan, a 7-year-old girl in a purple coat steps forward, places a resume on the table, and whispers, voice trembling but brave,
Please, can my mommy still
can my
have the
mommy
job?
still have the job? She got
She got
taken by
taken
the ambulance this morning. Executives freeze. Security hesitates. And the billionaire CEO, known for firing people without blinking, slowly stands up. His next words will change 3 lives forever. Morning light crept weakly through the blinds of a cramped Queens apartment, illuminating a world held together by hope, second-hand furniture, and a mother's determination. The couch still smelled faintly of lavender detergent, Sophia's nightly ritual, because even if life was hard, she insisted Mia deserved a home that felt clean, safe, and loved. But today, everything had fallen apart. The paramedic's shoes had left wet prints on the linoleum. The blanket Sophia had been wrapped in was still crumpled on the floor. And in the silence that followed the chaos, Mia Rivera, 7 years old, stood alone in the doorway with her purple coat half-zipped, her small fingers shaking as she clutched her stuffed bunny by the ear. She kept replaying the moment the ambulance doors closed. Her mom's eyes fluttering. Her lips trying to form a word that never came. The panic in the paramedics' faces when the fever spiked. But Mia wasn't crying now, because she remembered something even more important. Today we win, baby girl. Her mommy had said it last night with a tired smile and that brave woman sparkle she always tried to hide behind. The interview at Harrington Global was their chance, maybe their only one, to finally lift themselves out of the cycle of overdue notices and late-night budgeting on the kitchen floor. So Mia did what brave little girls do when the world turns upside down. She followed the blue dot on the phone. At the Harrington Global headquarters. A world so different from hers it could have been another planet. Marble floors glowed under soft gold lights. Assistants in sleek suits moved with the precision of a choreographed dance. Even the air smelled expensive. And at the top of it all, 50 floors up, sat Liam Harrington, the billionaire CEO whose name practically ruled New York's financial world. 35. Controlled. Ruthless. A man whose expression could freeze negotiations and send grown executives into panic spirals. He adjusted his cufflinks, straightened his tie, and tapped his tablet impatiently as he prepared to interview candidates for his newly vacant executive assistant position. To anyone looking at him he was a portrait of power, untouchable, unreadable. But even marble statues cast shadows. And buried beneath Liam's flawless exterior was a past no one dared mention. The mother he lost far too young, the promises he broke, the guilt that built a fortress around his heart. He didn't do surprises. He didn't do emotions. He didn't do vulnerability. Which is why, when the boardroom door quietly creaked open, every executive expected to see another polished candidate. Instead they saw her. Tiny. Solo. Standing in her spotless purple coat and backpack too big for her small frame. Mia stepped onto the marble like she was stepping into a storm but refusing to flinch. Gasps whispered around the table. Security moved. Executives stared. But she walked straight, absolutely straight, to the head of the table, to the man the city feared, and placed the neatly prepared folder in front of him like she had watched her mother rehearse. Liam blinked, confused, annoyed, then curious. "Sweetheart, what are you doing here?" one executive murmured, nervous. Mia stood on her tiptoes to be taller. Her voice cracked, but her courage didn't. "My mommy was supposed to come for the job today." A beat. "But she got very sick and the ambulance took her." Silence thickened the air. Mia pushed the folder closer with both hands. "She practiced every night. She worked so hard. We need money for medicine. Please, can she still have the job?" The room froze. Security hesitated. Executives shifted, unsure if they were witnessing bravery or heartbreak. But Liam felt something he hadn't felt in 15 years, a fracture in the armor around his chest. He reached for the folder. It was organized perfectly. Highlighted. Prepared with care only a mother desperate to change her child's life would give. Inside, on the top corner, written in purple marker, "My mommy is the best helper in the world, Mia." His throat tightened. And in that moment he didn't see a resume. He saw himself, 15 years ago, begging anyone to help his mother too. The boardroom waited for his verdict. Everyone braced for the ruthless CEO they knew. But instead, Liam stood up, walked around the table, lowered himself to Mia's height. A billionaire CEO kneeling to a child. That was the shift. The moment the ice began to crack. "Sweetheart," he said softly, shocking every soul in the room. "What's your mommy's name?" Mia Rivera," she stuttered. "Sophia. Sophia Rivera." He nodded slowly, decisively. "Tell your mommy," he said, voice steady and impossibly gentle.
Shy.
"She
Tell
starts
your
on
mommy
Monday."
the job is hers.
Gasps echoed. A candidate dropped her pen. Someone whispered, "Is this real?" But Liam wasn't finished. "And every medical bill, every expense, consider it taken care of." Mia's eyes widened, shimmering like stars trying not to fall. He smiled, an expression so rare it felt like seeing a sunrise after years of winter. And that was how 3 lives began to change. The automatic doors of St. Mary's Hospital hissed open as Liam Harrington walked in, Miles Carpenter, his head of security, trailing behind him, bewildered. CEOs didn't casually go to hospitals. CEOs didn't clear their calendars for strangers. CEOs didn't involve themselves personally. But that morning Liam did all 3. He told his assistant to reschedule every meeting. He turned off his phone. And he walked into the ER with Mia still holding his sleeve. Not because she was scared, but because she trusted him. No one ever touched Liam. Not employees, not dates, not even friends. But somehow the tiny hand wrapped around 2 of his fingers didn't feel wrong. It felt like something he had forgotten he once needed. Sophia lay pale and fragile in the hospital bed, oxygen tube for lines, fever still battling in her body. Her hair stuck to her forehead, her chest rising fast with shallow breaths. The sight hit Liam like a punch. Not because he knew her, but because he'd seen that same scene before. Hospitals. Machines. A sick mother with a child sitting helplessly at her side. For a moment, his mind flickered back to his 17-year-old self, hopeless, angry, promising himself he would become powerful enough so he would never feel helpless again. A doctor approached. Mia squeezed Liam's hand tighter. "Your mother is stable," the doctor said gently. "It was a severe infection and dangerously high fever. But she's responding to treatment." Mia exhaled shakily. Liam spoke before he could stop himself. His voice was steady, authoritative, in the way that made people listen. "Whatever she needs. Specialists. Tests. Transfer to a better facility. Don't hold back because of the cost." The doctor nodded, a bit startled. Who was this man to the patient? Mia finally whispered, "He's helping us. He's really nice." Liam turned away, clearing his throat. He wasn't nice. He didn't do nice. But for these 2, he couldn't help it. While Sophia slept, Liam took Mia downstairs for something warm to eat. She picked the smallest cup of soup and saved half the crackers in her pocket for mommy later. He watched her quietly, studying her with a softness that surprised even him. No spoiled billionaire upbringing. No entitlement. Just a child raised on love and survival. "You came across the whole city alone?" Liam asked. Mia nodded, swinging her legs. "I followed the blue dot. Mommy said, never give up when something is important." He inhaled sharply. Never give up. The last thing his mother ever told him, too. "Did you ever get scared?" he asked. "Only on the subway. But Bunny was with me." She pointed to her stuffed rabbit peeking from the backpack. Liam chuckled. A small, astonished sound. Nobody at the office would even believe it. Then Mia dug into her bag and pulled out a small charm shaped like a heart. "I made this for Mommy last night, but I want you to have it too." He held it, feeling the weight of her innocence and kindness, a small token that carried more meaning than words could convey. He stared at the charm far longer than he meant to. His chest tightened, not uncomfortably but in a way that felt unfamiliar. "Thank you, Mia," he said quietly. His voice caught. He wasn't used to feeling anything he couldn't control. When they returned upstairs, Sophia had woken. Slowly. Confused. Her eyes darted between the strange man in the suit, the hospital room, the beeping monitors, and her daughter clinging to his side like she'd known him for years. Sofia Rivera? Liam said softly, stepping forward. She blinked in embarrassment. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to cause trouble. I must look like a disaster. He shook his head. You look like a mother who's fought too hard for too long. Her breath hitched. No one had ever seen her like that before. No one had ever spoken to her with that mix of respect and gentleness. Your daughter, Liam said, glancing at Mia with a small smile, walked into the boardroom alone today. Sofia covered her mouth. Oh my God. Mia. She delivered your resume. And she advocated for you better than any candidate I've ever met. Sofia's eyes filled with tears, mortification, gratitude, fear, love all tangled. I don't know what to say, she whispered. You don't need to say anything, Liam replied. The job is yours. I'll personally ensure you have what you need as you recover. Sofia blinked hard. Why would you do all this? Liam hesitated. Because you remind me of the woman I lost. Because your daughter reminded me how to feel again. Because something about you won't let me walk away. He simply said, because it was the right thing. As Sofia adjusted her pillow, her hair fell loosely over her shoulder. Liam stepped forward instinctively, helping her sit up without even thinking. His hand brushed hers. Just briefly. But the contact sent a small, unexpected ripple through both of them. Sofia looked away quickly. She wasn't used to being cared for. Liam stepped back, startled by the warmth that shot up his arm. He wasn't used to caring. Just as the room settled, a nurse rushed in with a clipboard. Ms. Rivera, I'm so sorry, your insurance has expired. The system says your employer never renewed the plan. We'll need immediate payment authorization. Sofia's face drained of color. I can't. I don't have. She reached for her daughter instinctively, protective fear rising. Liam stepped forward, voice steady, unshakable, definitive. It's taken care of, he said. My office will handle everything. No restrictions. The nurse's eyes widened. Sir, this is tens of thousands of dollars. I know. Sofia stared at him, stunned, grateful, overwhelmed. Why are you doing this? Liam met her gaze and for the first time, let her see something unguarded in his eyes. Because no one helped my mother, he whispered. And I can't let that happen again. The room fell silent. Sofia's tears fell first. Mia reached out and held both their hands. And something unspoken knitted the three of them together. The next week rushed forward like a storm. Sofia recovered quickly under the care Liam arranged, and by Monday morning she walked, still a bit weak but determined, into Harrington Global for her first official day. Her hair was neatly brushed, her blouse freshly ironed, the same navy blazer she had prepared weeks before now fitting her with new purpose. But walking into the polished marble lobby felt like walking into another world, a world where people whispered, watched, judged. Because news travels fast in skyscrapers. And rumors travel even faster. Employees had already heard the story. The CEO hired someone he never interviewed. He paid her bills. He visited her in the hospital. He brought the child with him the next day hand in hand. Some were confused. Some were furious. Some were jealous. Especially one person, Grace Whitmore, Liam's previous executive assistant's longtime deputy. Perfectly coiffed blonde hair, immaculate heels, and a personality sharpened like a blade. She had expected the promotion. She had expected Liam's attention. And she had certainly not expected a single mother from Queens to step in and take what she believed was hers. As Sofia passed her desk, Grace smiled sweetly but with poison in her eyes. So you're the new special case Mr. Harrington hired? She said under her breath. Must be nice to skip the line. Sofia swallowed hard. I didn't skip anything. Grace leaned closer. Sweetheart, you don't have to lie. We all know why you're really here. Sofia frowned, confused. Grace's voice sharpened, low and venomous. Pity. Sympathy. Whatever story you spun in that interview room, it worked. Congratulations. Heat rose in Sofia's cheeks. She didn't defend herself. She didn't know how to. She'd never been in a place like this, where kindness looked like weakness and assumptions looked like weapons. Grace walked away with a smirk. And that was only the beginning. Later that morning, when Liam entered the office, his eyes immediately found Sophia arranging files, doing her best to look composed. But he saw it instantly, the tightness in her shoulders, the faint redness around her eyes, the way she flinched slightly when someone walked behind her. He stopped beside her. "You okay?" he asked quietly. She forced a smile. "Yes, Mr. Harrington. Just learning the ropes." He didn't buy it. But he let her keep her dignity. Still, something inside him stirred, a protective instinct he thought he lost years ago. Later that afternoon, Sophia assisted Liam inside the glass conference room during a board meeting. She stood at the side, taking notes, listening, doing her job with quiet precision. But halfway through the meeting, a board member, Richard Coleman, cold, gray-haired and obsessed with optics, cleared his throat pointedly. "Liam," he said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "there are concerns." Liam didn't look up from his financial projections. "About?" Coleman's eyes slid to Sophia with thinly veiled disdain. "Your unusual hiring decision." The room tensed. Sophia froze behind her notepad. Another board member chimed in. "Hiring an unvetted assistant with no corporate background? Covering her medical expenses? Visiting her personally? It suggests an inappropriate relationship." Sophia's heart dropped to her stomach. Liam slowly lifted his gaze, cold, sharp, dangerous. "Be careful how you finish that sentence." But Coleman didn't back down. "Shareholders talk, Liam. We can't have personal charity cases affecting corporate judgment." The word charity hit Sophia harder than any insult ever had. A hot flush crept up her throat. Her pen trembled. She whispered, I should step outside." But Liam stood so fast his chair scraped back violently. "No," he said firmly. "She stays." His glare sliced through Coleman. "You want to question something?" Liam said, voice low and lethal. "Question me. Not her." But Coleman only smirked. "Optics matter, Liam. People are saying you're involved with her." The entire room gasped. Sophia felt the world tilt. Her vision blurred. Tears pricked her eyes. She backed toward the door, breath unstable. I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I never meant to cause trouble." She slipped out before anyone could stop her. In the hallway, Sophia leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Her chest tightened. Her eyes overflowed. Grace passed by and didn't even hide her satisfaction. "Oh dear," she said sweetly. "Is the fantasy collapsing already?" Sophia wiped her tears, humiliated. "I didn't ask for any of this," she whispered. Grace shrugged. "But you walked into the king's castle. You should have expected people to notice." Inside the boardroom, Liam's jaw clenched so hard his teeth nearly cracked. He looked at Coleman, every muscle radiating fury. "You ever imply again that she earned her position through anything other than merit?" Liam said, voice deadly quiet. "And I will personally remove you from this board." Coleman scoffed. "You don't have the authority." Liam stepped closer. "I have the authority to buy out your shares while you sleep." Silence fell like ice. No one doubted him. No one. Because Liam Harrington didn't make empty threats. He left the meeting abruptly. Didn't excuse himself. Didn't care. He found Sophia in the hallway, back turned, shoulders shaking silently. His heart twisted, painfully. "Sophia," he said softly. She straightened quickly, wiping her face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't want to embarrass you. I can resign. I don't want to cause problems for your company." He stepped closer. "You're not resigning." "I don't want to hurt your reputation," she said. "I don't want people thinking." Liam interrupted gently but firmly. "I don't care what they think." She looked up at him, eyes red, breath shaky, courage cracking. "But I care," she whispered. "For Mia. For our future. I can't lose this job." Liam felt something break inside him. He stepped even closer, lowering his voice. "No one is taking this job from you. And no rumor, no board member, no jealous employee, is going to make me abandon you." She blinked rapidly, stunned. The air between them shifted, warm, charged, fragile. "Why?" she asked softly. "Why are you doing all this for us?" Liam's jaw tightened. His walls trembled. This was the breaking point. Because you matter, he said. Because Mia matters. And because, for the first time in 15 years, I want to protect someone. The words slipped out before he could take them back. Sophia inhaled sharply. Their eyes locked. Something unspoken ignited. A moment later, Liam made a decision so bold it stunned even himself. Pack your things, he said. Sophia froze. What? Are you firing me? No, he said, voice steady. I'm taking you both out of here. He pulled out his phone, calling security. I want full protection assigned to Sofia Rivera and her daughter immediately. And have the car ready. Sophia stared at him, breathless. Where are you taking us? Liam looked at her with unwavering resolve. Somewhere safe. Somewhere people can't hurt you. Sophia's heart thudded. Because the man the world feared just chose her. The rain had stopped in Manhattan, leaving the streets gleaming like glass under the late afternoon sun. Sophia and Mia stepped out of the sleek black car, and for the first time in weeks, Sophia didn't feel panic clawing at her chest. She felt safe. She felt hope. Liam held the door for them as if it were natural for a billionaire CEO to escort two women from Queens through a world of marble and steel. You don't need to worry about anything anymore, he said, voice calm but firm. Bills, medicine, your apartment, everything is handled. You focus on getting better. Mia's hand was still in his. Her small fingers curled around his thumb, a tether of trust. Sophia blinked back tears, overwhelmed by the kindness of a man she barely knew yet who had already changed her life. Inside Harrington Global, the office buzzed with cautious curiosity. Sophia's desk had been prepared with pristine folders, stationery, and a note from Liam. Welcome, Sophia. You belong here. The staff watched, whispering. Some eyes were wary. Some were impressed. And one or two were downright envious. But Sophia didn't flinch. She took a deep breath, set her bag down, and opened her laptop. She was ready to prove, again, that she deserved this. Every task she completed that day carried the weight of her love for Mia, the silent promise she had made when the ambulance took her mother's health into uncertain hands. I will not fail. I will provide. I will fight. And with Liam watching quietly from the glass-walled office, she felt a strange comfort in his presence. Not fear, not awe, just a steady reassurance that someone had her back. By Friday the rumors had started. The board members, initially skeptical, saw the results. Sophia's organization, her work ethic, her initiative. Grace Whitmore tried to stir whispers, but the tide had shifted. When Liam publicly praised Sophia during the weekly company meeting, highlighting her resilience, intelligence, and dedication, it was clear to everyone. This wasn't charity. This was merit. Sophia's cheeks burned with pride, but her eyes kept finding Liam's. There was a quiet acknowledgement between them, unspoken but powerful. He had seen her courage, her heart, her strength, and she had seen the man beneath the suit, the man capable of compassion, loyalty, and unexpected love. That evening, Mia helped her mother unpack the folder she had delivered in the boardroom days ago. The little girl's face shone with excitement. Mommy, everyone at the office knows how amazing you are. Sophia hugged her tightly, whispering, I couldn't have done this without you. Mia grinned. I knew you'd get the job. And now, we don't have to worry about medicine anymore. From across the room, Liam watched. His expression softened, almost vulnerable. He had never imagined a little girl could teach him so much about courage, love, and human connection. One rainy evening after the first successful week, Liam invited Sophia to his penthouse office. Not for business, but for a private conversation. The city lights shimmered through the floor-to-ceiling windows, painting the room in gold and sapphire hues. He gestured toward the skyline. Do you ever wonder how different your life could have been if someone had just noticed you sooner? Sophia shook her head. I'm here now. That's what matters. He smiled, slow and rare, and stepped closer. I don't just notice you, Sophia. I admire you. Your strength. Your heart. Your love for Mia. He paused, caught between control and vulnerability, something he hadn't felt in years. I want to protect both of you. Not just at work, in life. Sophia's chest tightened. emotions swirling like a storm and a sunrise at once. I don't know what to say, she whispered. Then don't, he said gently, taking her hand. Just let me show you. It was simple. It was intimate. It was transformative. And for the first time, Sophia allowed herself to hope, not just for stability but for love. The next morning, Mia crawled into her mother's bed, pulling Bunny along. Sophia wrapped her arms around her daughter. Liam entered quietly, carrying 2 cups of cocoa, smiling like someone rediscovering warmth after a long winter. They sat together in silence, sipping cocoa, watching the sunrise through the windows. No grand gestures were needed. No boardrooms. No news headlines. Just 3 hearts beginning to heal, stitch, and grow together. And in that quiet, Sophia realized, this was their new life. A life of hope. A life of protection. A life of love, both professional and personal. Months later, the tiny apartment in Queens had transformed. The walls were brighter, the kitchen smelled of fresh bread, and Mia's laughter echoed freely, no longer shadowed by worry or fear. Sophia sat at the kitchen table, reviewing her new schedule at Harrington Global, her desk now a symbol of her hard work and resilience. Beside her, Bunny sat propped on the windowsill, and a small framed drawing of Liam, Sophia, and Mia, colored in purple and gold, glowed in the morning light. Liam stood in the doorway, coat in hand, eyes soft. He had come, not as a CEO, not as a billionaire, but as someone who had chosen to care. Mia ran to him first, hugging his legs like a little anchor. Sophia followed, her hand brushing his, a quiet acknowledgement of everything they had survived, and everything they had gained. "Thank you," Sophia whispered, her voice warm and steady, "for believing in us, for giving us a chance." Liam smiled, genuine and rare, kneeling slightly to meet her gaze. "You never needed luck," he said. "You only needed someone willing to see you." Outside, the city hummed with life, but inside this small home, 3 lives had stitched themselves together, stronger, safer, and full of love. And it all began because one tiny girl had stepped forward, brave enough to ask for help. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more emotional tales, like if you believe in acts of kindness, and comment below your favorite moment, because every story of hope deserves to be shared.